This podcast is intended for entertainment purposes only and contains jokes, satire, and language that may not be suitable for all audiences. The views expressed are those of the host and guests and do not reflect the opinions of any employers or sponsors. The stories we share are our version of events. If you believe a story we share is about you and you remember it differently, please, by all means, go start your own podcast and tell your truth. Welcome to Gold Star Horror's Quickie. I'm your host, Lisa Wilson.
And I'm Lisa Smith.
I want to talk about the power of understanding, what you bring to the table, the power of experience, presence, how important presence is, especially when you're having these, when your conversations of I'm the talent or if I wasn't here, it would be worse, and where that comes from and kind of how it fits into the bigger picture of I'm the talent. One of the things I was telling you guys about is my husband. I walked into a room once and it was a big work function. I did not want to go. I get really awkward socially, so it can be a challenge. My social skills are not the best sometimes. So if it's a work thing, usually I'm all in. But when it's a personal thing, not great. So I walk into this room and I'm like looking around looking for him, and he sees me and he like beelines to me, and he's walking me back to the group, and he was like, there is just something about you when you walk into a room. Everyone notices you. Like you just have like this presence, which is really nice, very sweet, but it's not by accident. So a long time ago, had, and I'm talking in the way back machine, in one of my very first jobs, I had a manager that was really into making sure that you could tell who the manager was or who worked there by the way they walked around the floor. Like that was something. And so when she would walk in and she was like, Lisa, I couldn't tell you worked here, either by the way I dressed or the way that I was walking around. She was like, you need to walk with authority. It gives the customers confidence that you know what you're talking about and that you're the person they should talk to. And I carry that with me to this day. I truly believe that when I walk into a room, it needs to look like God sent me there. But the power of presence is a biggie, especially if you're the talent. So I work on that a lot.
Well, command skills, which if you look at competencies and strengths, that is a skill to have command. And I think we need to be careful. I think you can overuse it and make people feel like they don't belong in the room. It can also be an underused skill when you show up in a room and you slither over into a corner, right? Like you're not using that command skill. To use it correctly is to be the person in the room where people stop and look, and when they respect when you have the floor. A lot of times people who aren't comfortable being kind of in that position, sometimes I know they'll reposition themselves, they'll stand up when they speak or whatever to gain that command until they get a little bit more confident. But yeah, it's actually a skill.
It comes down to visualizing comes and how when you are present, you are confident. And when you're confident, you're more likely to make your goals. That's the train of thought. You've got to be of the mind that you're the reason we're here. You're driving the train. Let's have the conversation from a perspective that only you have. Like if I could do it for you, I would take the bullet, but I can't do it for you. I don't understand what you're talking about. You have to do it. And that has been something that I see holds a lot of people back. Like I said, I have a little tribe of people that I've worked with over the years that they discount themselves a lot. And it's mostly with younger women that I see. And it drives me crazy because I'm like, you're this supernova smartass and you are afraid to speak up. You're afraid to walk into a room and get attention. You want to just kind of hide. And you can't do that. If you are someone who I would rather die than present at a meeting, but we need you because you're the smarty, get someone to help you, right?
Well, let's talk a little bit about like maybe how you can have a presence, how you can create presence. If you don't feel like you've really truly sharpened your skill set in being the authority in the room, then how else can you do it? Like something that I was always taught was dressing the part, I think was a big thing.
Yes, 100%.
Like, being able to show up in a level above where your role is, a level or 2 above, walking in with your head held high that you know you look good, you know you feel good,
Mhm.
and then when you feel like that, I think that that comes off with some sort of command as well.
Yeah, it's part of the role you're playing, right? Like what I will always say, I may not be the smartest person in the room, but I'm the sharpest dressed. I put a thought into what I'm going to wear when I'm going to be in a public environment, which would make you think I'd be a high self monitor. I wish I am not. Because this mouth gets me in trouble, and my face. I'm a terrible poker player because if what you're saying is dumb, I'm like, like, I'm the one calling you out with my eyes in the meeting. So the other piece of like showing up is being prepared. So
Yeah,
making
that's a good
sure
point.
that you going into a meeting, you know what the meeting's about, you know what's expected of you, you've done the reading, you've kind of prepped yourself, so you showed up prepared, which is also going to give you the appearance of confidence versus someone else who's scrambling through their papers because it's 1987. We're all walking around with papers. So I know that there's a lot of different perspectives of work and how we show up for work, and our versions may be different than yours, but making sure that you feel confident because that's what this is about. Presence is about confidence, right? And getting that confidence in your bank with the people that are in your environment, whether it be every single day at work or whether it be going to a meeting, is personal capital that you're going to be able to spend later, right? Or you
Mhm.
might need a help, you might need a favor, you might want a job promotion, right? And that promotion is up to somebody that was in that room a year ago when you walked in looking like $1 million, feeling like you own the room. And you were prepared for the meeting, even if you were just a teeny tiny baby gold star whore with no real responsibility, nobody would ever guess that based on how you carry yourself, right?
Yeah.
You can still be part of whatever generation you currently are in and exude confidence in your appearance, the way you sit in a chair, again, being prepared for the meeting, all things
Ye
that add up and are important. If you're going to be the talent, they got to believe it. You got to believe it, right? It's all about that confidence. And then you got to visualize like, and I'll just tell this story because for me, it was like a turning point in my career. So we were having one of the lowest performances of my career. There were reasons that it was happening. Things were totally out of my control. But because of that, it almost made it worse. It doesn't matter what I do, it's not going to get fixed, right? It was just the darkest times and for lots and lots of reasons. But I was sitting at home one afternoon. I felt like every day I was just getting gutted. And I had
yeah.
this horrible new manager who just was like, go out and hand out samples and that'll solve our problems. And I'm like, we're down 100 grand. Go suck it. Like, have you tried cold calls? I'm like, oh, 1987 called and they want their process back. Like, I would say things like this. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
I will say that it was someone on my team that was a superstar, had been a superstar like forever, and was one of those people that I gave all my time and attention to because they were a superstar. So this person was making more than they ever thought they'd be able to make. And when they didn't make anything, it was ruining them, like
Yeah.
emotionally, financially, just ruining them.
Yeah.
I was eating my lunch, probably shotgunning cheese. And they said to me, I know as soon as I walk in and see you, whether or not I'm going to have a good day or a bad day. And it's just
Wow.
like, I don't know how many bad days I can take. And I was like, huh, okay, well, what can we do about that? And they're like, nothing. It's just, there's nothing we can do about this situation. And it doesn't matter what we do, it's just going to be terrible. It was one of the most depressing. I remember all these years later. And this is a person who really, really cared and was like, just desperate times. So I remember I was like, okay, they're watching me. And it was one of those things I just never thought about it. I would drive to work and I live an hour away from work. And I would envision, I'm a good manager. I am good at what I do. And I was like, no, no, I'm great at what I do. I am epic. Like, they should write books about me. I'm so good at what I do. And I would just make up these scenarios in my head where I was getting better and smarter and like solving everyone's problems. And we were not going to be down triple digits, and it's like, we're going to do this. And I would just really build myself up. And when I walked in, it was like literally a cape was flowing off my back. And I'm like, I'm here. I'm going to solve everyone's problems. Who's first? Right. And it really helped me. Right. And it really gave everyone that was watching me confidence that we were going to be okay, that we were going to
Yeah.
get better. Right. Even though we were all facing insurmountable odds, I psyched myself up so convincingly that I believed it, And I'm going to tell you that we ended up getting out of that hole.
Yeah.
So don't lose sight. That's part of being the talent, right? Is that you don't lose sight of the fact that you really are somebody who can make a difference, right?
One day you're not a peacock and the next day a feather duster. Like if you
Mm-hmm.
were a peacock one day, it's not because you just all of a sudden woke up one day and went to work and said, I want to suck today. People don't do that.
You were being treated.
But that's how we were being treated is that the shiny toy dimmed,
Mm-hmm.
it fell in the pond, it's no longer, and you guys have to claw your way back up. I think we've probably seen that multiple times over our career,
Yeah.
in also maybe even in our personal life, where one day you are somebody that you're really proud of,
Mm-hmm.
one day you are here, and then for whatever reason, you're not there anymore. And getting out of that funk also, I think you said it the best, like you had to change your mindset. And it was a physical choice. It was a physical choice for you to say, I can either just keep going to work, keep feeling like crap, but you had to make that physical choice. I truly don't think that leaders realize the impact and the power they have on the people that look to them for leadership.
The foundation of what any gold star hoer needs is to have that confidence in themselves to know that they've got something to offer, that presence. They're going to exude confidence in their presence when they walk into a room. You never know who's in there. Maybe someone is on their last leg and they just need someone to show up and solve problems, right? So even if you don't have the solution to the problem, you need to visualize an environment where people have confidence that because you are the talent, all of these fears will be allayed, right? And you guys cannot tell you how much I've enjoyed talking about this. Lisa and I talk about it all the time, and we're still always learning about how we can be better, smarter, faster, more positive. Like all of that is part of being the talent. Remember, one of our goals is lifting each other up, and that is a big part of that shared experience. So, with that, you
Yeah.
guys, go have a great week. Thanks for coming to the Quickie. And Lisa, thank you so much. It was always great going
Thank
down
you.
memory lane with you. We'll see you guys next week. Go have a hell of a week. Thanks, guys.